Good day, paranormal community, and welcome to this amazing episode of the Odyssey Files coming at you direct from Snowmageddon Central. Uh, I am your host, Michael O'Neill, still alive, uh, much to Mother Nature's chagrin, I'm sure. And with me, as always, is my wonderful co host, Mr. Anthony Hernandez, who just transformed back into a human from being a goat man himself. There it is. You got to watch the video to see that goat man mask. But how you doing, Anthony? Doing well?
I am doing well. It's not snowing here, and it's actually not freezing or too hot. So kind of in the middle here.
We are not. Uh, I am right on the border of 13 to 20 inches of snow coming at
Jeez.
me. Started last night. Supposed to go all the way into tomorrow morning. Along with very gusty winds and a blizzard warning. So, yeah, I did silver lining here. I did get called off work last night, so I did get to enjoy a snow day for the first time in like 25 years. So
I was going to say
that's
since
fun.
school.
Well, exactly, yeah. Uh, a little over 25 years ago, but we don't need to talk about that at all. Uh, but yeah, so it's interesting because like there was literally like really no snow left. Like we even got into this like near 60 last weekend. I think last Sunday was like 60 degrees here. And now it's, you know, 27 and a blizzard. So go Minnesota once again. But I gotta say, I don't know if I enjoyed my snow day or not. Like, I needed to do evidence review, and I'm like, you know what? I want to not do anything. I
Uh,
want to take a
that
nap in the middle of the night.
that evidence review is always the unglamorous part that they never show on the TV shows, where it's like you go through hours and rewind and did I hear that, and all those fun things that get edited out of the TV shows.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, it did show like Steve and Tango bored out of their minds and eating pizza a lot. But but yes, I have found in my travels, in my adventures and investigators who have come through the door that like the number one thing that gets them to not want to do this anymore is evidence review. Because it, especially if you get DVR, like I explain it to people. I'm like, it's literally washing paint dry.
Yes.
Like it's just an empty
I,
room
I would assume
that
that maybe when AI gets a little better, maybe they can help with evidence review. But I mean, even then, like today, even it said there was a possum that walked across my yard and it's an armadillo, and it's called my dog a black bear before.
yeah, I would never ever trust AI to do my evidence review. I'm sorry. Just no. Uh unless they came out with some sort of program that was like this is what a ghost is, which I really can't see happening. So the only thing that it would be able to do is like track motion.
For for paranormal needs, I would assume you would want it to tell you when the scene, just to stop when the scene changes, so you're not sitting there watching the same scene over and over, or when it detects an audio anomaly of any sort, like it would stop there and highlight and tell you to check this part. That would be the extent of what I would trust it for.
Eh, maybe. Uh Now at least my DVR system, my wireless cameras like do have audio now, so it's not as boring as just watching no audio. And this, like, you don't even know if your computer like freezes the screen. It's just the same picture over and over hours unless somebody comes in. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
We have uh, a great topic here tonight. One that came up, and we did do. This is one of the at least the three that were the main three that we're going to be talking about, dealing with the cryptid monster, whatever you want to creature, whatever you want to call him, the Goat Man. But there is a new show, surprisingly, on Disney Plus. Like all of these, this is how mainstream the paranormal is now, or at least like especially like the supernatural and the cryptids and stuff. Is that now the streaming services are getting in on this? Netflix is doing paranormal shows now, and now Disney Plus has this. It's like a true crime show, but based on paranormal themes, I guess I want to say. Like it's got a paranormal connection to it. Have you
Into
started
it.
that yet, or have you gotten
I have
anything?
not started it. I watched some of the documentaries and stuff that were out there for the Goatman and stuff like that. I keep forgetting to watch the Disney thing. It needs to be like Mickey Mouse's Paranormal Playhouse.
I, for whatever reason, cannot flip and remember uh what the hell it's
The name
called.
of the show.
Yeah. Like, how many times have I sent you, like, have you watched this particular show? And yeah, there it
Is
is,
it so
Out There.
weird? Oh, Out There. Okay.
No, it's called Out There: Crimes of the Paranormal. Um, it's on Disney Plus, and I mean it's only like 6 episodes. They're not bad. I mean they're actually pretty good show like episodes. So I'll give Disney Plus their due. Like I think they did a pretty good job with it, and they're all, for the most part, they're all like in the last number of years. There is one episode that goes back into the 80s. 2 episodes that go back into the 80s, or the 70s, that deal with like UFOs. So it deals with all sorts of the paranormal, whether it's cryptids, whether it's UFOs. Um, in fact, I don't think there's a lot of supernatural aspect in it at all. Come to think of it, but either way, it's really good. But there is one episode that deals with the Goat Man, and we're going to be talking about that probably. It'll either be our second or third one that we'll talk about. But I mean, I think we need to go back to the origin of the Goat Man,
Oh yeah.
which,
The
for
OG
all
Goatman.
accounts, the OG of the Goat Men, unless it's the same one and he's just going on vacation, and he's got a summer house down in Texas, and so he's going to that bridge. Um, but it's a place in Maryland. Um, it started in the 1950s, and
Oh,
Bowie
see, I was going further back
Bowie.
with it, but
Oh, really? Well, then let's start with you, and we'll see what we get.
well, see, I know you're gonna scoff at it, but you got to go back to Greek and
I'm
Rome
gonna I'm
time
gonna
when you
scoff
have
at all.
Pan,
Oh, oh, did you just say
Pan and
Pan?
satyrs. Come on, yeah.
Ah, ah. I wish I could
So you
postal
didn't go back
stamp
to
you
the
in the
OG.
forehead.
I was like, come on, that's
All
where we
right.
get the word panic from. It's
I,
literally because of his scream.
I'm holding back. Is aren't you proud? I'm
Yes,
a little
I am
proud of
because I was
myself.
expecting. I was expecting you to start. At first, I thought you were going to Pan, and then I thought you were going to be like, ah.
No, because that to me is ridiculous. Um, plus, I kind of stayed in the United States,
Oh,
so
okay.
like you're going international. I I think any legend, any myth the United States has some basis in ancient times. Uh,
Well, yeah, because I mean,
so
that's where all the
it
chimera and stuff stories come from.
exactly. So fine. Let's start with your idiotic pan shit and get ready for the scoff.
Well, I just wanted to say Pan because it was. I mean, like I said, that's where panic comes from. The whole thing was he used to terrorize the shepherds and stuff when they would come into the forests and things like that, and the scream would terrorize them and drive them out of the woods. I mean, that literally is where the word panic came from, was Pan and his scream and scaring the crap out of people out of the forests.
Okay, well that has nothing to do with the goat man. Even though I think isn't Pan like half goat or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say he literally is the old description of the goat man, half
Ugh,
goat.
ugh, ugh. Whatever.
I will say that when we get back to our side, when we get to America, we got better origins, I guess, for that stuff, or at least I thought it was.
Yes, then a demigod. Yeah, we have uh, scientific experiments going wrong and
Yep.
people being hanged and yeah, we get very dramatic with our
And then
goat
you go to
man
the
stories.
dark. Then you go to the dark side of the goat man stories too, because I didn't know if you were going to go there. Because I saw some of those and I was like, okay, the interspecies commingling.
So maybe I didn't see that. The closest that I got to those type of reports was uh, obviously the scientist
That was
joining
the
together.
that was the much more family friendly reading of those stories, because there were some that took the turn that you're like, okay,
Well, you knew it was coming.
well, yeah,
See what I did there? Yeah.
yes, I see what you did there.
And I didn't even do it on purpose. So, all right. Well, is that it for your pan history?
Yeah, that
Just
yeah, that's just I just wanted to make the connection back to Pan, because I mean that I think is, well, I mean that's really where the first big goat man myth and stuff comes from, is from that from the Greeks, and then it kind of branches out and spreads all over the place. But that's the big one, I guess, that would tie back to what we're talking about, as far as the half goat, half man, possibly inducing panic and stuff like that.
what's interesting though is, I mean, if it wasn't for Hellier, I wouldn't have a slightest damn clue who Pan ever was. Uh, you know,
Oh, that's
you could
right.
have
I
said,
forgot the
yeah, you could have mentioned, yeah, it comes from Pan, and I'd be like, what? Like a pan? Like I would have thought you were talking about like a big pot or something like that. Some
I refuse to believe you don't know
Teflon.
who Pan is.
I know him now. I'm saying that now I know who Pan is, or was, or is supposed to be, or whatnot. But if I had never watched Hellier, I never would have come across his name ever.
Oh,
I mean, it's just not part of
I
any
was like,
research that I've done.
that should go back to, or at least and maybe it was just me in my English class, but I was going to say in English class we had to read some of the stories about the Odysseys and all the other stuff. Those characters are intermixed into some of those stories.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
I mean, we did Greek gods, but Pan was never one of them.
yeah, because
You know,
he's the the minor part in the stories usually, or a minor part in some stories.
Yeah, none of which that I read about. So, yeah, no. If it hadn't been for the reference in Hellier, never would have known. I just would have been like, "Who? What?" Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But because I'm so cultured,
Yes.
I know now. I know now who Pan is supposed to be. But did not know any of. I knew about the whole half go half Pan thing, but the whole panic and his cry and blah blah blah. Uh, did not know that. So uh, there we go. Learning something new. Learning something new here on the Odyssey Files. Thanks to Anthony and his research. So bringing it back here into the United States, and who knows? I mean, because in none of what I read does it ever mention Pan or any sort of other half man, half goat type entity in any of the stories or any of like the inspiration for the stories. So apparently somebody took the way back when stories and Americanized them for us and added in all of the drama and the creepiness that attracts people. And what's interesting though is that none of these things make sense. Like
No.
all of these stories are terrible, and uh, and yet so many people believe them. So many people believe them. So we'll start at the American beginning here in the United States in the 50s, not in the 1500s or whenever Pan was around, but like I said, starting out in Bowie, Maryland, which is just south of Baltimore. And it started in the 1950s. And it wasn't until uh, there's a place called Fletchertown Road. So many people have roads. Like it seems
Yes.
like every myth has to have a road connected to it. Uh, so Fletchertown Road is this one in Bowie, Maryland. Uh, I just love the Goatman preys on defenseless animals and unsuspecting teenagers. Like that's quite a very specific group of people.
Yes.
And it seems almost like he's supposed to be this axe wielding, murderous, half man, half goat entity, and yet he'll try to scare teenagers and cut off the heads of rabbits or other defenseless
Animals.
animals. Animals. So, uh, but yeah. So here's how he's described: the head of a goat and the body of a 6 foot tall man. So he's not even a big guy. Like he's my
No.
height. Like I could punch him in the face and it would be fine. Like it'd be a straight shot right to the nose. Uh, Patches of white body hair. So a silver fox, the goat man. That just means he's old. Bright red eyes that appear demonic. Like, are red eyes just demonic? Is that what we're saying now? Like no other, it can't be
Man, I don't
anything
think
else.
you could have said regular goat eyes because regular goat eyes are kind of freaky looking. If you ask me, if you see that in a human size, yeah, I wouldn't need glowing eyes. Those alone would put the spook into you, I think.
Yeah, a 6 foot bipedal goat. I couldn't care two shits about what color his eyes are because that's effing weird.
Yes.
just without the eye color, but like that just seems to be, and that goes beyond Goatman. You have the Jersey Devil, you have the Mothman, you have all of these other they all have red eyes. You know, it makes me go back to uh the old cameras that we used to have where if you looked like directly at the camera, you would have
Oh, it gave
the
you the
red
red
eye.
eye.
It gave you the red eye. That's why even today, even though like they have technology that's good enough to get rid of it, I still like look a little off kilter, a little to the left or a little to the right because that's supposed to get rid
To try
of
to
the
avoid
red
that.
eye. Yeah. So I still do that to this day. Like I look up or I look a little down, it's not directly at the camera. Cloven hooves. So, you know, I guess if that's the case, like, can you say that it's half man, half goat then? Because it seems to be like
Mostly go.
70% goat. Yeah, mostly
Yeah.
goat. Uh, and here's to your pan, a high pitched squeal.
See, and I don't know what it is, but whenever I hear the Goatman thing, all I can hear is that screaming goat thing. So
Yeah,
I'm just
is
imagining
that
that from a 6 foot person.
which we can do. But yeah, and honestly, out of all of the Goatman type lore and legends and stuff like this one is the craziest. Like they went all over the spectrum. Like this thing's got like 3 different origin stories, and each one is more out there than the last. Um,
Oh, yeah, one of the connections I didn't really go into, but you also have the connection to Baphomet and stuff like that. So I mean, you get the darker aspects of it, which I think is maybe where some of the more current stuff is kind of they're like it's satanic or something like that. So I don't know. I read about some rumors which would totally not surprise me that you have some satanic people in Maryland that worship this thing or worship something like that.
so tell me about Baphomet. Is that's a demon, isn't it?
That's the devil. Yeah, the devil. That's
That's
basically
the devil.
the satanic looking goat head thing that you see on all the satanic emblems and all that stuff.
I see. Why does he get so many names? I don't understand.
I have no idea.
So he gets Lucifer, he gets Satan, he gets Baphomet.
Yep.
Is that it? Does he have any more?
As far well, there's probably a ton more that I just not familiar with off the top of my head. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know. You gonna look it up?
Yeah, I'll look real quick because now I'm curious.
Uh, whatever. Anyway, so even though
Yeah, there's a
sightings,
ton more.
of course there are. Um, Getting back to the Goat Man. Uh,
Yes.
and yes, I know. Like one of the things is uh that Lucifer is accused of obviously is appearing as a goat man. But so the sightings of the Goat Man of Fletchertown Road, that almost sounds like who sings it? Oh, it's gonna bother me. Oh, the Gin Blossoms. They have that song Allison Road. And so as I'm reading like the Goat Man of Fletchertown Road, like that's all I'll hear is like the Gin Blossoms singing to me about this. Started in the 1950s, but it wasn't until the 1970s that it, I guess, took off. So in 1971, a Maryland student, George Lazama, good name, he began researching local folklore of Maryland. Apparently, he interviewed 8 people who had experiences encountering the goat man. And it makes me wonder, because these are so out there and they're so crazy, like I'm wondering if he made all the interviews up.
I Well, I was going to say it's hard to really tell from back then. I mean, they did a good story sells a paper, so
Well,
I
yeah,
can't
but
imagine a few embellishments in there.
here's the thing. The paper that he wrote found its way into the Maryland Folklore Archive and vanished. Like nobody paid any heed to it. You have 8 people who are going on the record and being interviewed of seeing this half man, and they're like, let's just file it away. We're good. Um, but then in Halloween time of 1971,
Bring
a
it back
journalist
out.
named a journalist Karen Hostler uh, ran an article in the Prince George's County News uh, titled "University Archives Reveal Bowman, Goatman, and Ghost Still Haunt Area." And she came across obviously all of his interviews and wrote a piece on it. Well, that blew up. See, now it blew up when she wrote her thing. Because a month later, even the Washington Post was writing about the ghost man of Fletchertown Road. And shocker, sightings increased. I didn't see that one coming.
I was going to say there's some speculation about some of those things because the story comes out and then the sightings and stuff increase that connect it back to thought forms and tulpas and stuff like that because people are pouring their energy in to go look for those things.
I don't know if I want to go the Topa like road.
No, I mean
Path.
it's just a theory out there.
No, I get it. And obviously now that it's got a national spotlight, everybody started to be like, well, how did it get here? What's its backstory? Tell us about who the Goatman is. And hence, we have the 4 stories of, well, at least 3, maybe 4, of the origins of the Goatman of Bowie, Fletchertown Road. First one, Dr. Stephen Fletcher. Good name. Works, apparently. I don't know if this is honestly real or not. I don't know if they completely made him up or what. But in Beltsville, which is right by there, there's a Beltsville Research Agricultural Center, which I'm assuming does research in how to grow better crops.
Yeah, it was a military. There's a military research facility there. That's I don't if that's what they called it. That is what caused most of the speculation and stuff around that place is because it was military and high security and stuff like that for agriculture, I guess.
Gotcha. Kind of like the Wulan labs that started COVID. Yes.
Yeah.
So apparently, Dr. Fletcher was conducting animal experiments and combined the DNA of a goat and a man, hence the goat man, and like all creatures, it escaped because apparently we're very, very shitty at security. Because they're saying that even is like, I think that's one of the stories of Mothman, that it too was a scientific experiment that escaped
from a military complex.
From a military complex, yes. Not only that, but it's always seen on Fletchertown Road, and yet military can't seem to find their way to it to try and recapture its experiment. So
now I will
Mothman,
say I found a slightly different version of your story.
Okay. Tell
for
it.
Fletcher, because there was in the version that I found, he was looking for a cure for his sick wife's illness, and that led him to experiment with the goat stuff, and he experimented on himself and turned himself into the half goat, half man, and escaped out into the wild.
Escaped out into the wild. As soon as that goat DNA got in him, he couldn't care less about his wife. He was a goat.
Like, I'm out.
he had to graze. Who cares about your wife when you have grass to eat? Uh, I did read something. It didn't go into specifics, but it I guess gave mention to in another version of this story. The scientist or whatever in an accident turned himself into the goat man. And apparently it is the underlying in the genetic code of all goats that they have to live on or by or underneath a bridge.
Oh yeah,
So
the billy goats and the trolls.
It's called the troll syndrome. Yes. So, and I just made that up. So don't look that up. Well, you can't.
I wasn't going to.
I meant the listeners.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I was going to say.
I know you're going to look. You're going to look it up. I'm surprised you haven't already typed it in.
The other crazy theory that I thought of was, or at least when I was looking at some of this stuff, was like, what if it's just Bigfoot who got tangled up in some brush and brambles and stuff, and
it's deer? Oh,
hold on. Oh, it darkened the screen. That's why.
Yeah. No, over to your left. There you go. I see. So it's just branches and shit hanging off his head.
I got caught in his fur, and now he's.
Well, the only thing that I have to disagree with that, beyond just the sheer audacity of it, but funny though, is Bigfoot's much bigger than the Goat Man. When have you heard I can't.
Some of them could put him at like 7 foot and stuff like that. So it's not all the stories have him normal or human sized. Some of them have him bigger than that. So.
Gotcha. I haven't gotten to that one yet, or I didn't see any of that. But so anyway, but yeah, the USDA actually had to put out a statement debunking the allegation that the Goat Man had any ties to their research facility. Which brings us to the hermit. Dun, dun, dun. Which makes even less. I just seriously, you're stretching for shit with the hermit. So, and this is from a more skeptical point of view. Blames an old hermit for his antics attributed to the Goat Man. It is said that the hermit walked around with a double-bladed axe, something the Goat Man has been seen with. No. And terrorizes local teens along Fletchertown Road. And this is what kills me. It just makes me laugh. The hermit is said to have a droopy eyelash that may have given him a slightly goat-like appearance when spotted wandering along the dark road.
So now my question is, did anyone stop to question him to see if maybe he's walking around with the axe because he's seen the Goat Man and doesn't want to fall victim to the Goat Man?
And who's paying attention to a droopy eyelashed hermit when he's carrying an axe? Like, that would be my focus. Yeah. If he's got an axe, a double-bladed axe, he ain't He-Man. Well, He-Man had a sword, but his, whatever the other guy's name, he had a double-bladed axe. Like, that would be my center of attention. And apparently, this droopy eyelashed hermit has such a hatred for teenagers that he will then take the axe to their vehicles. Not like nobody planned to have died by this droopy eyelashed axe wielding hermit. Just their cars get damaged.
Well, so that was an interesting thing when I looked it up. There's no attributed deaths directly related to the Goat Man in any of the stories. None of them. Now, have there been fatalities? Yes, but I want to say that is misadventure, I think is what they called some of them.
Well, see, that's just the thing.
You're kind of
freeze there
breaking
for a
up.
second.
Yeah.
Well, it's time. Am I back now?
You're better.
All
It's
right. Well,
still
give me 1 second.
okay.
We're gonna go to our backup plan because why not? All right. Da-da-da-da. It's time to do a little switcheroo, so I might freeze you for a couple seconds. Maybe. Maybe you can talk. Why don't you tell us
All right.
about the goat herder?
The goat herder. Oh,
The
the from
goat
down
herder.
here. Yeah, the
No. The Bowie, Maryland Goatman also has a goat herder story.
okay. I might have missed that one.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that after this quick commercial break where I try and fix my internet.
Okay. I was gonna say while you're doing that, the one thing that all these stories keep reminding me of is like a bad Friday the 13th, where there's this serial killer that never is caught, and yet all the teens keep going back to this place for some reason.
I really maybe I should look up Fletchertown Road on like Google Maps, like just to see what type of road this is. Like, is it overlooking like a beautiful scenic view and it's like Makeout Island? Like, why is it attracting all these teenagers?
I'm assuming it's out of the way and like a place to go have fun away from everyone's prying eyes. Yeah.
Fun in quotes. We all know
Yeah.
what fun teenagers have on dark, scary roads that have the stories of an axe wielding, droopy eyed hermit walking down,
Yeah.
walking down
That
it.
would not be my preferred choice to hang out at.
Right. So here's so now remember, the hermit was the more skeptical point of view.
Yes.
So now we have the goat herder part of it, where he's an old goat herder who lost his mind.
Oh, yeah. Definitely did not get, or I don't recall that one.
And the story went that teenagers had slaughtered the herder's beloved goats, and he went insane. Insanity over murdered goats. He vowed revenge for the senseless killing and attacked anyone unfortunate enough to drive down Fletcherton Road, which apparently was just teenagers, because it seems to be like it's never like teenagers and their parents or church going families. It's teenagers and defenseless animals.
Well, my first question is what's wrong with the teenagers that they killed a whole bunch of goats for no reason? That's kind of disturbing in of itself.
Well, you know what? When you have a goat man and you want to blame it on somebody, there has to be a reason for him losing his goddamn mind.
Yes.
And apparently, not losing your family or your wife or children or any of that, but losing your beloved goats.
Well, if he wasn't all there, those might have been his family and his children and all that wrapped into one for him.
You did say that there's some mingling going on.
Yeah, that was one of the theories.
Holy crap. So obviously there have been lots and lots of sightings. Holy crap. So the sighting of the Goatman 1957 newspaper article. Apparently 5 years later, in 1962, the murders of 14 hikers were blamed on the Goatman's bloody rampage. I guess this is as good a story as any.
Oh,
I actually don't know anything about that story. Local teens would talk about going goatman hunting on weekends.
Yes, because again, like they never caught the serial killer, and this is the perfect place for the group of teenagers to go stop the goat man that didn't that the other 14 couldn't stop.
You know that was like that was a bunch of like football players and stuff being like, I'm going to go Goatman hunting this weekend and try to impress the ladies. Yeah, it's crazy. So, but now let's move down to your neck of the woods, the old Alton Bridge.
Yes. That
So,
one is the, I don't know, it really is just ignorance, I guess, that forms the backbone to this one. Because there was a African American goat farmer, and he would sell his goats, and because the times were what they were, he couldn't advertise, I guess, in the regular normal spaces. So he had signs on the bridge to sell the goats if you wanted them to come here. So of course the local KKK decided that this was unacceptable, and I don't know, somehow that the goats were tainted because it was a black guy who happened to be raising them. So they got together their group of friends and went to go lynch this guy. And supposedly the story goes that they hung him and hung him over the bridge, and then when they went to go look back for him, the body was gone. And then after that, the he appeared with with a goat head, which I have no idea how that's supposed to I have no idea how they make those correlations and how they got there in there. But apparently his spirit showed up and he had a goat head and went after him, and they all took off because they're so brave when confronted with the unknown. And then thereafter, it's a haunted bridge that if you go there, he appears. And I think that's the one that you have to like knock 3 times or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, there's always got to be something
Yes.
stupid somebody has to do. So, uh, first things first. So you have an African American entrepreneur
Yes.
named Oscar Washburn,
Yep.
apparently. Yeah, and put a sign on the bridge saying "This way to the Goatman."
Yep.
And I love it. And the way it's written is like it infuriated the local Ku Klux Klanmen who plotted violence. It's like, why? I mean, I get it, but I mean, I don't get it. But I mean, like back in the times, like something dumb like that would be
Yeah.
something that would set people off. But yeah, so Washburn's body disappeared, wasn't there anymore. Uh, so frantic and panicked, they went to his shanty. You know, it's not like he had a
Yes.
house, his shanty, and I guess burned it to the ground with his family still inside.
Yes. Because I don't
Because
know.
why not? Because why not?
Yeah.
Um, and so now, yeah, now you have the vengeful goat man uh, haunting the bridge. And if, yeah, you can knock 3 times, or you can shut your car off, turn off the lights, and honk 3 times as a summons, and the goat man might appear, which is ridiculous. Like
Adds ritual and thought to it though. Kind of puts your intention there for pulling something forward
I
if
get
you
it.
put it in the basic ways. But yeah.
I get it. Um, here's the other one that I think is hilarious. So, uh, and there's a couple stories here too. So that's the main one. Some people attribute it to Satanists opening up a portal and bringing
Yeah.
something in. Uh, People that say that the goatman's wife, it's not a goat man, it's a goat woman, and that she's looking for her children, which have been obviously murdered along with her. And then they tried to go back even further before the bridge was even there. and they said that the man, uh, the Cooper Canyon Cowboys, Triple C, lynched a Creole slave goat herder. Everyone's a goat
Uh,
herder, apparently, named Jack Kendall. Uh, and apparently, they were so inept at hanging him that when they threw him over or they lynched him from another bridge, it was another bridge or something like that. A tall creekside tree. There we go. Near the where the bridge now stands. Decapitated him, and that his body got up, went and like decapitated a goat, and stuck the goat's head on his body as his new, I guess, head. And shock upon shock, Oscar Washburn and Jack Kendall don't actually exist.
yeah.
So,
Well, needed the science. If you ask me, the scientist, which I still thought it was cool. I think that's the coolest one. Is the scientist angle was loosely taken from Frankenstein, or at least that's the vibe I got from it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I can completely believe that our military would try in some way to fuse animal DNA for certain aspects of their genetic code, like putting gorilla strength with.
Oh, that was Russia that actually legitimately tried to interbreed gorillas or chimpanzees with people to make a super soldier, their own version of it. That was a real thing they tried to do.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
have no doubt. So I have no qualms believing that it's something that we would try to do. But
now whereas that's science fiction, now we have CRISPR technology on the verge of coming out and doing a bunch of stuff, which is the scary part where they could really do some weird stuff.
and CRISPR is the public stuff. Like that's what
Yeah.
we know, which means they've had this shit for like 30 years.
Yeah, they're
So,
like one of the CRISPR things that I saw that they're putting out to public now is their theory is by next year they'll have cleared all the hurdles for it, and there's a CRISPR that if you let them edit your DNA will cure diabetes.
I could use that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's not a bad one.
We'll see. We shall see. And I wouldn't doubt if somewhere in an animal DNA is the cure for cancer. I mean, we'll figure it out eventually. But the whole half goat, half man, half dog, half man, like half bat, half man, which would be great for Batman, but it is what it is. Um, and apparently, at your old Alton Bridge, one of the stories is a large, snarling, goat headed man beast stomping in the wooded shadows, or a frightening apparition of a maniacal satyr carrying the
See,
heads of goats or humans in his hands. So, big old bag of human heads is
and
what
see
the.
you don't really hear a lot of those stories down here because those don't usually that's like the whole up there where y'all have the clowns that stand on the side of the road and watch you and stuff like that. Those jokes don't go over real well down here.
What?
You didn't hear about that? The clowns that would stand on the side of the road and stare at you and stuff. It's been making a
Like,
comeback recently because they have them going up to people's doors and messing with the ring cameras and stuff.
I think that's a Texas, like, thing. Like, I think that's AI. I've never heard of that at all.
No,
I think
they had them on the news even.
oh, the fake news. just just kidding. Um, I remember I it was a while ago. Maybe it was COVID. like they did have like there were news stories of people dressing up like clowns and like being on the bridges and stuff like that, like waving to people. Uh
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I haven't heard anything of that in years. Okay, well,
Yeah,
maybe
it's been
I'm just out of touch.
you're out of touch on this one because they had recently they've had people going up to the doors and messing with their cameras and stuff to spook them out and everything, which is, I mean, at least allegedly mostly harmless fun, but yeah, not really the smart thing to do nowadays.
Well, I guarantee you, Mr. Anthony, that is not the only thing that I'm very much out of touch about. So you can throw a dart at a board and probably going to hit bullseye every time. Um, but yeah, but I mean, have you like you're obviously in Texas.
Yeah.
So I mean, what do you hear? Like what have you heard like throughout your long and very long life uh oh what the Goatman stories?
I mean, there. So down here, a lot more is, or at least in San Antonio, is the donkey lady, which is another. I mean, it's another tragic story if you really dig into it. So it's a lady who got caught in a fire, and the fire burned her hand to where it looked like it fused her the flesh together to look like it was hooves, and basically, it's a tragedy thing. And went to the bridge and would go cry at this bridge, and so it's supposed to be haunted. Same basic setup as the Goatman. Uh, I will say it, and where that place is located, you're more likely to run into some gang banging type people and stuff like that than a ghost. Like you go out there looking at night for that stuff, you're kind of taking chances that you really probably shouldn't be because even during the day it can get kind of sketchy. So the other bridges I've heard of. I've never been to the Alton one because I've just never done it because Goatman was never big on my list of to do things. Um, but I kind of think it's the same, probably the same thing where the stories and the legends and stuff like that. And can you get spooked out at night? Yeah, because they're in the middle of nowhere. I was like, and there's obviously some people who like would make fun and have fun with scaring the crap out of people because I've seen that before too. But Satanists are real, all those things. So you mix those things together. I don't know, kids who go out looking for that stuff are more apt to find trouble than the paranormal side of it.
Speaking of which, great segue to the Pope Lick monster. So, or the Pope Lick Goatman. Uh, so this takes place. It's pretty much a railroad trestle,
Yep.
and a thin one at that. Like I've
Yes.
seen I've seen this bridge, not obviously in person. This is the one that is in the show that I mentioned, the Out There uh, kind of docu series that Disney Plus has done. Um, and it goes over Pope Lick Creek uh, in Louisville, Kentucky. So not only does Louisville, Kentucky have Waverly Hills, but it has the Pope Lick monster. So Louisville is crazy, crazy town. So and there's and honestly, I don't think that uh there is really like nobody has really bothered to come up with a backstory for this. Like it just seems to exist.
Yeah. That this is the one that you go in the middle of the bridge and make the call and he shows up and stuff like that, right?
Well,
That's the big
you go into the bridge, and I don't know if you do so much do a call or anything like that. Um, but keep in mind, and when I say like train trestle that's really thin, like go back in your memory to Stand by Me. That
so
very
I went I went back to Lost Boys, that part where they're hanging from the thing as the train goes over, because that to me is really what you would be doing if you're stuck out in the middle there trying to hold on for dear life.
Well, true, but not a lot of teenagers are going to get underneath the bridge to hang on to the side. Like they're going to be the ones in the middle of the bridge when a train comes because it is an active train trestle. It's
Yes.
not abandoned. It is an active train route every day. I think in the episode, I think they say like it goes by like 13 times a day. Like it has a
Wow.
train that goes over the trestle. Um, very much an in use uh, track.
And
And
it's 772 feet long. So from you're in the middle of it, you're 300 and something feet into this thing, and trying to run over an uneven spacing like that is challenging at the best of times alone when there's a 60-mile-per-hour train barreling down at you.
yeah, uh, and like I said, like I think the only thing that I've found, uh, legends tell it to it attacks its victims with a blood-stained axe. No, uh, in fact, the entire episode on that Disney Plus like didn't mention an axe whatsoever. Like not at all. So, um, but yeah, so it said the monster escaped the train derailed. Like they kind of the only thing that they bothered to do is kind of explain why it was there and not what caused it, except for a twisted reincarnated form of a farmer who sacrificed goats in exchange for satanic powers. Now, naturally, Wikipedia has citation needed on that statement, and well
Yeah,
deserved.
there's also the escape circus freak thing, because there was supposed
Yeah,
to be at least what that was the other story I saw, was the train
yeah,
accident and the circus freak escaped, and yeah.
yeah. And now he's hanging out at the bridge to attack people because he was treated so poorly. Like,
Yes.
of course, because who doesn't like fall out of a train and then it just stays there forever? I mean, you just can't leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the other thing is that there's or at least that part of that story was too, that they said that it uses mimicry to sound like someone that to call you out into the middle of this bridge. But it's like, can't you pretty much see this thing from like all angles, that there is like nobody there, or
Yeah, it's not like it's hidden in brush.
yeah,
Like you can see it clearly. And naturally nothing's there.
yes.
So but yet, um so here's the thing that kicked it off. And I don't know if I'm angry about this or not, because I get people trying to make movies and stuff like that. So you have 1988. There's a film that comes out called the Legend of the Polk Monster. Uh, I'm not even gonna try. The guy's name is Ron. I'm not even gonna try his last name because it's
Yeah, I heard it.
it's it's like 10 letters long and has a lot of consonants in it. Um, but he shot a lot of this thing at the Poplik Trestle, and uh, but and here's the kicker, which I don't think that they announced to people. Like when it came to shooting scenes of his movie or whatever on top of the bridge, they went to another bridge, like one that wasn't active, and then shot that and then put it in the movie is on top of the Polk Trestle. Um, and uh, I just I think this is kind of like right along the lines of like the Amityville horror movie. Like it's all great when you put it out because it's nobody has seen it and you don't think any like actual harm is going to come to anything. It's just a movie type thing. And then it takes off as like gospel. And it becomes like the very foundation for people's belief in certain things. And it's like,
Yeah, like kind of like the Blair Witch type stuff.
I was just thinking that a lot of people did not understand, like, because it was the first of its kind. And I was right along with it. Like, they went all out on the Blair Witch Project to try to make it
Uh,
as
I
authentic
had
looking as possible.
I had incredible fun with that movie because I knew what it was from the very beginning because I had heard about them making it and stuff, and I thought it was awesome. And there were people at work and stuff that thought it was real, and I let them buy into that. And yeah, they were so freaked out by that movie that it was months later when it finally released enough to people to go, okay, it was a movie that was made and not really real. Because I know they had people that were going out into the woods looking for whatever, like let's go find this Blair Witch thing, and I'm like, again, why would you go to the place if you thought that was real, where that happened?
Because people are dumb. But um but yeah, like I didn't get to see it. I didn't even know that it was out there. I heard about it when the film first came out, but they like put out like the night before it was supposed to be released or something along those lines. Like I don't want to say like a documentary, but they put out like a show or something along those lines that was like interviewing like their friends and family and how um I can't remember her character's name. I know her name, Heather Donahue, but like she was obsessed with her research and she was going to go to any lengths in order to get this Blair Witch thing and yada yada. Um, and honestly, it freaked me out a little bit many years later to see Heather Donahue in a rom com that I was watching. I'm like, I know that lady. She's not supposed to be alive. Like, I wonder if her parents know. But yeah. So, anyways, I, I like I said, I get it from both sides, but people are literally dying. Like this isn't like,
Yes.
oh, this person. Like this is the story where people are literally getting killed because of
Well,
this story.
two people before he filmed that, the year before he filmed that, died from there too, a 17 and a 19-year-old. And I don't think that they were there for any sort of paranormal thing. I think one just happened to be walking across the train track and I got stuck out in the middle. And the other one was I think the same thing where they were on the train tracks and had to jump to avoid the train. Because I don't
Yeah.
think there was anything paranormal related to the first two.
Well, it seemed maybe they heard about because it's honestly in the exact same year. So the Legend of the Pope Lick Monster came out in December of 1988. But also in 1988, that 17-year-old guy hit and killed by a train. Um, and another one was injured while trying to cross it. In 1994, the story goes that a man was killed by a train after his ATV overturned on the trestle. Why would you take an ATV on a train trestle like that
Yeah.
and like trapped him on the track? So I don't know if it like tipped over and he fell on top of him.
Well, it's
Uh,
probably, I mean, because you're going over the slats. I mean, it's not like I think that's maybe what a lot of people don't realize, or at least before they get there, that there are literally empty spaces between the slats that you can slip into and become in a world of hurt at that point. But
well, yeah, because it's not a walkway.
no,
What's what's important is the train rails. So I mean, like, why would any why would anybody be like, yeah, this is where I want to walk because this is stable. One trip and I might fall off the damn thing. I mean, it's not like it has side railings on it. It doesn't.
No.
Um,
They should put a sign that says if you get on here, you're going to die.
well, I mean, after the
I know it's
first
got
couple,
warnings, but
yeah, I mean, it's got an 8 foot high fence now, along with warnings that trespassing, if you're found on the trestle or even around it, you're going to be prosecuted for trespassing. Um, but yeah, but I mean, 1994 was that man was killed. In 2000, a 19-year-old man fell to his death after encountering a train. 2016, a 26-year-old tourist,
yep.
Raquel Bain from Ohio, died after being hit by a train while searching for the monster. Her
And her
boyfriend,
boyfriend lived.
yeah, by hanging off the side.
Yes.
And then the May 26, 2019, that is actually the story, the main story in Out There. Like that's the one that they centered on, where uh, 2019, Savannah Bright, 15 years old, was pronounced dead at the scene after she and another girl were on the train tracks and a train came. I
Did they
think
interview her friend or?
they interviewed her friend, not her, because they have Kaylee Keeling or whatever how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
The friend that they interviewed, her best friend, was not there that night.
Okay.
Um,
Because they said that the other girls had severe injuries but survived.
yes. So the story in the episode is that Savannah went out with a group of other people, and I don't know if I can't remember her name that they interviewed, but she had something else going on, or her parents said no, or something happened where she couldn't go. And so she found out, obviously, I think like in the middle of the night or something like that, like this Savannah's mother called and let her know that obviously that, you know, she had passed being out at the trestle. Um, and uh, it's it's obviously it's heartbreaking.
Well,
And
yeah. It
and what gets me, and this is part of the episode as well, is there's now like a celebration, like a multi-day celebration to the Goatman that happens at in around that I don't think it's at the trestle, but it's like in that town that it's in. Um, and obviously the debate was had, is this in good taste or not? And of course, the guy
no.
that's putting it on is like, well, hey, he's like, we're telling everybody, don't go out there. It's dangerous. Don't do it. Don't follow in there's footsteps. Don't go out there. It's private. I'm like, who the F is going to listen? Like
But
you're
you're still
bullshit.
promoting the story.
Yeah, exactly. And they're even showing the original Legend of the Pope Lake Monster at this celebrate. Like they're bringing in food trucks and vendors. I'm like, it's an celebration of the Goatman. And
So when he originally did that movie, he was forced by the railroad and I think the town to put a warning in the front and back of the movie that said that it was dangerous and stuff like that. So yeah, I messing with those things and the train tracks and stuff like that is just if you're not careful, you're going to end up a statistic or an addition to the hauntedness of that particular area.
yeah,
So I would not advise it.
yeah. I mean, needless to say, like I think the moral of like this entire episode is Goatman doesn't exist. I don't care who the F said that, they've seen him. It probably is Bigfoot with, twigs stuck in his hair, or a wolf or something. I mean, especially when you put the idea in people's heads that they are going to see the Goatman, they are going to see the damn Goatman. I mean, I know Grant Wilson, who hopefully will be coming on the show in the next couple of weeks. Um, he said it best, and I keep going back to it because it's absolutely correct. Only he says, obviously, about ghosts and spirits, that if you go into a home or go into a location expecting to see a ghost, you're going to see a ghost. And it's the same everywhere with any sort of paranormal
See,
type thing.
I think that's either pareidolia or by you manifesting something or bringing something because you're putting so much energy into anticipating seeing those things. I just, depending it, you get either one. And a lot of people jump to the paranormal stuff when a lot of things have more mundane or more realistic explanations for some of those things. Like I know they said that there's a theory, at least on that one bridge, that they think when the winds get going a certain way, which happens in nature too, it can cause the ultrasounds and stuff like that to go through there and cause
Mm.
the sensations and things like that to happen as well. So, I mean, there's lots of logical, scientific reasons for some of those things to occur.
Yeah, I mean, especially the where is it? A high pitched squeal. I
Yes.
mean, obviously, if it's a bridge connecting two high planes, you have that wind going through there, depending on like how it's shaped. It's going to sound, like when you blow on top of a bottle.
Yeah.
Like the thing that you get. I mean, and who's of course you are, and that's what I mean. I don't mean that people are actually going to see the goat man because they expect to, but they're going to take every single sign
As a
that is
sign.
there as the goat man. You hear that whine or whatever, it's the high pitched squeal of the goat man. You see eyes of a fox or whatever, it's the red eyes of the goat man. I mean, you are going to take everything that you can to try and fool yourself into believing you are having that experience. And it's terrible. I mean, but if it's like the old Altman Bridge, which really seems to be about as dangerous as a merry-go-round. I mean, there's no cars, there's no train tracks. It's just metal and a wood walking path. But when you're dealing with like the Pope Lick Creek Trestle, where it's an active damn train track, just stay the f off of it.
Oh, yeah.
I
I don't. I don't know what going to the middle of the bridge gets you as opposed to staying on the other side of the bridge. Like I said, if you're hearing a voice out there, there's obviously you can see that there's nothing there. So, I mean, I don't know why you would want to walk out there. I could see people trying to travel across to the other side or something like that if they're trying to take a shortcut, but that is a pretty hefty shortcut you could be taking.
Yeah. There's something that it did not cover it in the Wikipedia thing of the Goatman for Pope Lick Monster, but I know like some of the legend is like you see the I think it's the glowing eyes of the Goatman, which turn out to be the headlights of the train about to hit you.
The
So there's that.
hypnosis part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the hypnosis part of it. Ugh.
Yeah. I,
Just
yeah, again, no, just, I don't know why you would ever, like I said, for a dare or to find anything, why would you go into the middle of this bridge that once you're there, you're kind of screwed if something happens on either side of it?
yeah. Uh, I I'm not even going to get into like the psychology of the teenage mind because that's another hour and it's just going to make me angry. So, uh,
The other thing that I don't think they really talk about with a lot of these places, especially the ones that are in the middle of nowhere, is like, regardless of what horror movie you watch, regardless of what zombie thing you might see, the thing that people should take away from those things is people are probably the most scary and the worst thing that you will run into, because there are always people that will take advantage of that stuff. And by far, I've been spooked out before, but I've never really been like afraid of that stuff. People are far more scarier than any of those other things.
um, give me one quick second. Uh, There's hold on a second. I'm sorry, there's something that just popped in my head as you were talking about that, about how uh like, the scariest thing that you're going to have is human beings and stuff like
Yes.
that. Um and uh there's a great scene, I laugh every time I see it, in Parks and Recreation, the comedy
The
show
show.
from NBC, and they have a native guy who obviously owns and runs a casino, but they have him come in to do some political government type stuff, and he's doing the spot interview, and he goes, "There are two things I know about white people: they love Matchbox 20, and they are terrified of curses." It's so true. I mean, the curses part, not so much Matchbox 20, even though I am a fan of Matchbox 20. But yeah. So
I'm sure the Sage industry appreciates that aspect though, because I'm sure that helps them sell a whole bunch.
I'm sure it does. But yeah, it's, I don't know. Honestly, I think it comes down to people want the story. They want to go to school the next day and tell the story. And
Well, yeah, they get
everybody,
to the thrill. I mean, I mean, a lot of friends that I had are adrenaline junkies, jumping out of planes and firefighters and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that's just not really normal. But I get the adrenaline high, and you're always reaching for the next one. But going over a bridge is kind of stupid.
go mini golfing. That'll be good
Yeah.
enough. Anyways, I think I've said my piece. What about you? Do you want to close us up with any final thoughts?
No, I mean that's pretty. That's pretty much it. I think a lot of people, like you said, hype themselves up, and once you're hyped up and you're you're already expecting those things, the smallest noise is going to freak you out, and you're going to think it's confirmation to what it is, whether it is or is not. Is I think that those kind of leave your train of thought at that point. You've already reassured yourself that anything you see or anything you hear is going to be those things. So you're not really analyzing the situation correctly at that point.
Or you know what it is, but you're still going to tell it as though you don't. The whole
I guess
I'm going to let you decide what I encountered. I think a lot of paranormal teams do that a
do stuff
lot.
like that.
Yeah, like they're like, oh yeah, we heard all of this knocking. Yeah, well, you're probably in a really old house. It
Yeah.
happens.
I was always the killjoy with stuff like that because I would say I'm a believer for sure, but I'm also a skeptic. So not every noise and not everything. And I always look for the logical explanation to some of those things. So I don't know, I always wanted to eliminate the wiring. I always wanted to eliminate the CO2 and eliminate anything that could be a natural reason for those things rather than, nope, it was a knock. That was a ghost. Like, nah, just your pipes.
Well, the people that do that are the ones who don't need the thrill. The people who need the thrill will never debunk anything because it ruins the
Yeah.
thrill. So the people who don't need it are the ones who are going to look for the other answers. And unfortunately, as teenagers, and we all know it, even though it was many, many years ago in your case, but they're out for the thrill. That's the only thing that they care about right now. And so they're going to continue to go on the damn trestle. They're going to continue to go to the old Alton Bridge, and they're going to continue to. I'm seriously going to look up on Google Maps Fletchertown Road because that now intrigues me. And if it's like a backwoods dirt road, I'm going to be very upset.
Well, that's
But
it. I'm assuming it's going to be something like the pig there because there's the pigman stories too. So those are heavily graffitied areas that are in the away from the town and dark, curvy roads at night and all that other fun stuff.
Wow, you just put in Fletchertown and it comes right up. Let's see what we got here. Little windy. Looks like, ugh. It looks like it's right in the middle of like townhomes. And
Uh,
yeah, there's
I was
tennis
going to say,
courts in the community college. And yeah, there's
yeah, but you could be
nothing.
looking.
Oh, like one part of it?
Yeah, you could be looking at one part of it. It could be somewhere else because I mean, it looks like a really. Oh no, it really is only, or at least I think it's only one section. Oh, you disconnected, so you are gone,
Hold on. Hold on. There
and
we
you're
go.
back.
Yes. Hold on. I tried to do the stupid thing of looking at Google Maps, which hugely messes up. So
Your
now, hey,
system.
well, it messes up the. Um, hold on, I need to do something really quick. But, blah, blah, blah. Just a quick second. Yada yada. Oh no! There we go. Nope, that didn't work. Damn it! Oh well. For the rest of the show, you're going to see me in green.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in honor of St. Patrick's Day. I tried to do the green thing for St. Patrick's Day. It didn't turn out too well because of the green screen filter thing.
Yes, you definitely would have looked a little weird.
Yeah,
You would have been the floating head.
yeah.
Actually, would have been awesome.
I didn't think about that until I sat down and looked at it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's not gonna work.
All right. Well, anyway, that does it for us this week. Mostly because I don't like having green screen behind me. But yeah, we'll be back next week with another brand new episode. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, everyone, especially if you're in the Midwest, because oh my God. But yeah, see y'all next week.